Welcome to First Look, brought to you by the Edamame Anime Club, where we watch the first two episodes of an anime and tell you whether you should watch it or drop it. I'm Steve, and I'm joined by my co-host
Alexander. As always, great to be here. So yeah, let's open our beers. What do we got today?
We're just get some Voodoo Ranger IPA. We're not really doing a beer review because I think we already did Voodoo Ranger IPA.
Voodoo Ranger is one of my favorites, so kind of like a beer review. Kampai.
Oh man, it's so good.
So today we're going to be doing a first look on Undead, Unluck. You're the one who kind of pushed this anime on me.
Yeah, I mean, Undead, Unluck. I initially found it by TikTok. Somebody had this like imagine you're unlucky and the only person that could ever touch you is undead. And then it just kind of formed this, like, the clips were like her getting hugged by him, and I really liked that.
Okay.
Yeah. And, I'm a romance buff, so I really like the romance aspect of what's to come.
Oh, for sure, I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
And there's a few hugging scenes in here.
Yeah, we'll get into those hugging scenes later. Go ahead and get some background information on this anime.
All right. Yeah. So Undead, Unluck is a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Yoshifumi Tozuka, and it just became serialized and was announced. It started airing in October, so it's pretty fresh.
Well, it's still airing, right?
Yeah, it's still airing. I don't know what episode it's on, but it just started airing. It's part of the fall anime season.
Oh, nice.
Actually, you were telling me about it. I thought it was going to be Dark Gathering. The girl with skull eyes. That's all I knew about it. So
you were like, I don't want to watch an anime with a girl with skull eyes, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah. The anime is Undead Unluck is produced and planned by TMS Entertainment and animated by David Production.
I don't know anything about that.
Not too sure about that. One of the interesting facts is that it's going to be 2 cours long, so it's going to air this fall and then sometime next year.
Cours.
A cour. That's what I think. That's how I think it's pronounced.
Okay, 2 cours. So part 1, part 2.
Yeah. So it's always weird to me because it's season 1, and then they do it into like core 1 and core 2, but it's still season 1.
Well, I mean, they do that with a lot of anime. I really don't like it, but when you think about it's basically going to be aired in this year, like two 14 episode segues in the same year, or like within within a year of each other. Then they do like season 2, and that comes out like a year and a half later.
Yeah, it'll be like a year and a half later.
So, and then they do it again, Coors Light 1 and Coors Light 2.
Coors Light.
Yeah. So I don't know if I like that per se. I wish it would just be, the 24 episode run than doing 2 second point. But I know they're making it currently probably. So that's probably
I honestly don't know why they do that. Like, why separate the season 1, season 2? Because you just call it season 1 and air it in the fall, and then season 2 and then air it, here in spring or next winter, whenever they're going to do.
I'm sure there's a formula to it. Like,
I think it's just to create hype on it. Like, that there's going to be 2 seasons of it, I guess.
And two parts in 1 season.
Yeah. I mean, it's got plenty of content. I want to say there's 8 novels, manga novels. So one of the things that I thought was pretty interesting was in 2020, Undead Unluck won the Next Manga Award and placing first out of 50 nominees with 31,000 votes. That's
crazy. Like,
yeah, that's actually really impressive.
That's actually like because at first I was like, that's not the numbers out of 50 whatever, but how many votes did you say?
31,000.
31,000 people enjoyed this enough to make it number 1.
Yeah, number 1 out of 50.
Yeah, I wonder what those other 49 were like.
Yeah,
what if number 2 was just like god awful? Yeah.
So the reception is kind of mixed on this. Rebecca Silverman of Anime's News Network states that it's either a love it or hate it, and she's on the latter side. She does not like it, saying that the wanton destruction is illustrated in loving detail, but the story's insistence on framing the main character's duo's relationships is one that can devolve into assault or even essay at any point in time. Yeah,
there's a lot of heavy themes that they cover, but they do it in a satire way.
Yeah, it's definitely satire.
It's like very comical, but I can understand what she's getting at, and we'll touch base on that a little bit.
Yeah,
what she's getting at.
Yeah. Other than that, other critics just describe it as an unexpected screwball comedy, which I would agree with.
Yeah, it's a comedy, and it's one of her first kind of first time like official comedy. Like we did Devil's a Part-Timer, which is technically a comedy.
Yeah, more slice of life. This is like kind of like a shonen kind of
show. It gives me like One Punch vibes. The way like it's like fighting, but also it's extremely funny.
Yeah. I like it. It's real lighthearted, at least in my opinion. I don't take it too seriously. I don't think it takes itself too seriously.
Yeah, and there's a way to what she's describing is just what you get at face value.
Yeah, face value.
But if you gotta look deeper into what's really going on with this relationship. So there's a lot to touch base on that.
Yeah. All right. Other than that, you ready to get into it?
Yeah, let's jump right into it. All right. So we're going to go down. We're going to talk about kind of we'll start off with the intro, outro, and a little bit about the music. So what do you think about the intro?
The intro, I actually really liked it. It kind of grew on me. I watched it a few times. No.
The music was great.
Music was great. I actually liked it. It gives you a lot of previews of some of the characters you're going to see, and it makes you feel more invested in the anime.
I like that aspect of it, but it just, to me, I didn't really like all the scenery of it. It just, to me, just like a cut and dry. The music was really good, though. I really liked the music on the intro. I did like the outro.
You did like the outro?
More the visual effect of it rather than the music. Music was all right.
Yeah.
But the actual outro clips were really good.
I would agree with you on that. The outro has like actual pictures of destroyed buildings and stuff like that, and then it's got this theme of what is it, like Greek mythology where you cross the river Styx and into like hell. And
it's and it looks like Andy's on that.
Mm-hmm.
The Undead, he's on that, and it looks like his wife is being transported, and he's just along for the ride. And we don't know it's wife.
I was going to ask you about that. It's definitely his love interest. Someone he's like lost. Like that's his like reason for
like wanting to die.
Yeah. He wants to be wherever she's at.
Exactly. So that's kind of it looks like it's gonna be a heavy theme throughout.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
So the intro and outro was, I think they're great. The music throughout was pretty good though. From what I remember, like when the action scene started, like it was really good. There's like a scene where like the lightning hits and then the music starts playing and he jumps out, and it was really good. Like
you're talking like the action scene like later in the first episode. Okay.
Yeah, it was really good, and they did a really good job on the music. So I really, throughout the first two episodes, they had some really good music that was playing during the fight sequences, and during the slice of life, they had that like lo-fi that you don't even know it's playing.
Yeah.
So it was pretty good on that aspect. I really did like the music and the scoring for it. Characters.
All right.
We got a couple of them here that we should talk about.
Yeah.
First off, let's talk about the initial character of the Unlucky. What's
Fuuko?
Fuuko.
Fuuko. Fuuko. Fuuko.
Fuuko.
Yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I really like her character design. I like her character. I like that she has the she's wearing a beanie that says "Good luck" on it, which is like a great
on
parody like her entire situation.
I was going to mention that too because you get to see it throughout the episode, but you don't really get to see it till like it falls off and you see it come into the camera.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like her character design a lot. I think she's really cute.
Yeah, definitely like kind of like a shy, kind of arch type. I like it.
Whoever does the voice acting for her, phenomenal.
Oh yeah, I highly agree.
When she's yelling, it was so good. Like it was such a good scene to watch her. Like whoever's doing it did a great job, and they're like leaning into this. Yeah. She generally like is like screaming like about falling off the roof, and it's very comical.
Yeah, definitely. Whoever voice acted her is definitely having a good time, and you can tell.
Yeah, definitely.
So that was always good to see. What do you think about Andy?
Besides the groping aspect of it all, which I'll talk a little bit about. What we can talk about that right now. Actually, like
Andy's kind of like the comedic relief of this.
Yeah, it's a serious, a lot of serious things going on around him, and he's really good on the like comedic side of it. He's making light of a really dark scenario.
Yeah, I actually really kind of like the aspect that he's like naked the majority of the time.
Oh yeah, and
to me that's really funny.
It's hilarious because they do like what's called a tarp or something like.
If they got like some weird censorship over it, it looks like kind of like a loincloth.
A loincloth,
like sumo kind of loincloth.
Yeah, and it's like all scribbled in and it's blocking out.
One of the scenes I thought was really funny is like in their meeting scene between Fuuko and Andy, there's a little unlucky scene where like he touches her. And then he like gets run over by a train or hit by a train, and he like respawns or whatever, like reconfigures himself back, and he's standing like right there in front of Fuuko, like completely naked, and she punches him in the balls.
Yeah, it's so funny because she keeps calling him zombie, and the different way she says it makes me laugh because the first time she's like zombie and she like punches, but later on when he comes back to life, when he's getting attacked, she's all zombie. Like it's the way she's saying it,
Yeah.
and it's the connotation of the same word, but like different emphasis on what she's referring to. Because she's like zombie. She's so happy he's alive, but earlier she's like zombie. You know, and I really like that. Again, good like depth to that voice actor.
Yeah.
But yeah, Andy was great. I mean, I really enjoyed his character, comedic relief. The way he was designed was really funny. The whole way. Now I know you had some feedback though on the regeneration.
Yeah. I kind of didn't like how he's basically like jetpacks around using his limbs. Like, I could see him doing that one off, but like I don't kind of want to watch that for the rest of the season. Like, if that's like what he does is just like, because like they explain it by like he like cuts off his own limbs and uses like the blood to like propel him.
Yeah.
Like even there's a scene where he's like flying around with his head.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it would have been cool to see progression of different powers throughout.
Yeah, there's a little bit.
Yeah, and they're doing that now, but he's always doing the same shit.
Yeah.
He's like flying around a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be part of like his like main ability. That's his like the very first ability you get to see, and then you get to see all these different abilities he has besides regeneration.
Yeah, that's gonna be like his base ability that everything else is works off of.
Yeah, so those two characters though together.
Yeah, I like the duo.
Together, they're great. Yeah, and then the feedback that we got was that they're the essay and the groping scenes. I did want to touch on that. There is some trigger warning. There is some aggressive hugging, and things like that, and it's heavy petting.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess you call it like non-consensual because he like grabs her and different things. Like there's one scene where he's like spinning her around in circles, and she clearly doesn't like that.
Yeah.
But it's like kind of like as a torture method to make her like spill the beans on what her power is.
Yeah, that too, and then also, but really the whole time about why he's hugging her and grabbing her has nothing to do with like being intimate or any sexual exploits or anything like that.
Yeah, he's not doing it for that reason.
Yeah, his only reason is because he wants to die.
Yeah. And he sees his opportunity through her. Like he knows something's up with her. So
yeah, and I really like this duality of like she wants to die as well.
Yeah.
That's how
she was actually gonna
delete herself.
Yeah, that's the opening scene.
Yeah, that's really the beginning scene. She finishes her favorite manga and wants to delete herself. But like the whole aspect of it is that she's never been touched at all by anyone that did not come back.
Yeah, and that rewinds back into her favorite manga because it's like a love manga, and now that it's over, like she knows she's never going to experience anything like that.
Yeah. So there's two parts to this. Like again, he is it's unconsensual, but I feel like there's something building off this.
Yeah,
and I think it's a romance leading toward a romance.
I could see it
with her and Andy, but I think Andy will never commit because I think he is in love with someone already, and I'm just curious how that's going to go about. But
I didn't even think about that. That's a good point.
Yeah. So the plot. Now, no, actually, let's get into the two other characters they introduce. They introduced three characters that are really important. One of them we don't know what happens. It's that guy with the sword and like
at the end of episode 1.
At the end of episode 1,
he's part of what do they call him? Like Union.
The Union, yeah, he's part of the Union, and we get a little bit of that of who they are. But one of the two big villains we get is kind of like a mecha.
Mecha dude, and then I don't even know his name. I actually really liked him as a villain too.
Yeah, he was a cool villain. He had the ability to like. We don't know what his power is. We know that the robot can stop your motions and your muscles.
He stops when he's attacking or something like that.
But it's when it's after he attacks. If you regenerate, you have full function back. So I mean that was what I really like about Andy. He's actually pretty clever.
Yeah,
he's finding their faults. He's finding out how to figure out what their power is. And the way he does it is by just getting his gas kicked and regenerating every time.
Yeah. He, Andy, like, I actually kind of like him because they kind of reveal that he's been alive for like hundreds of years. You don't even know how long he's been alive. Yeah. And he's got like this, that's like his way he powers up. I don't know. He like, his way to turn Super Saiyan. He like unplugs his brain and he gets all his memories of his past. Like his entire past, he turns into like a badass.
Yeah, I did like that.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Yeah. What did you get the other two characters' name?
There's too many. I don't know.
Well, it's fine. We don't even know the characters. Episode 2, whoever the two characters. One's a robot. One's dressed up like Chun-Li from Street Fighter.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a girl at first.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I thought it was just a buff girl.
Yeah. All I know is he like blinks left and right, and that's kind of hinting at his ability. I know that they say that when he's looking at you, you can't move.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of cool. And again, I like how they're using the word UN, like like undead, unluck, unavoidable, a union. Like they're talking about the way these and they call them the negators.
Yeah, negators. Like the power is they stop some kind of innate physical reality of like the world, which is it's just a
interesting concept. Yeah, the way they do, they're negating. Oh, they're also like they also live off each other. So the same way that we get with Unluck and Undead, Andy and Fuuko,
Mm-hmm.
that's the relationship that these people have. They're paired off together in that regard, where they both kind of complement each other. And nobody, I feel like the Undead Unluck was like an unlikely companionship that is exactly what a good like comparison with each other is, like a contrast. They benefit off each other. But yeah, like there's any other characters we need to talk about?
I think that's it for as far as the first 2 episodes.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
Yeah.
Story and plot, dude.
Story. I like the story. It's pretty interesting. I like the world building that we get, like you were talking about, the examples of the undeath, unlucky. Like I forget what his power was, but it started with a UN too. Like it's like a canceling. Like
the robot.
Yeah.
Unavoidable.
Yeah. Which I really like that idea.
Yeah, and I you're right, dude. That was awesome the way. But like the story from like what they're getting at, like what they're going toward, their goal, is we get to figure that out in episode 2. Really,
I kind of like that they turn it on itself, where like the Union, I guess, group that's coming to kill them, they're like, no, we're gonna join you now, and the guy's just like, okay, like you already killed that guy, like
kill one more.
I'm not opposed, like you guys can join, like I like that. I think it spins the idea of just like fighting a group on its head. Like you don't expect Fuuko or Andy to join this group that's trying to kill him, but like they're open to it. Like, I like that. Like,
I did like that. Yeah, I thought that was a really good scene. And now I like how we both balance each other out on this, because you're looking at it from like an action badass point. I'm looking at it from the romance side, where I want Fuuko and Andy to be together at the end, and I want them to be, because really the only person that could ever touch her right now is Andy.
Yeah, is Andy. And honestly, I like that Andy's like willing to sacrifice himself. Like you see it through episode 1 and episode 2. Like he's like, okay, like the episode 1, the guy's like holding her hostage with the sword, and he's like, cut your own head off, like, or I'm gonna kill Fuuko. And he's like, all right, and he does it. And that actually turned into a good scene, because it reveals something about Fuuko. As he cuts his head off, and I don't, does he toss it towards her? She like goes and kisses him on the cheek.
He cuts his own head off and then tosses his own head. And then his body disintegrates, and she goes up and kisses while it's in midair.
Yeah.
And then that causes like the unluck.
The massive amount of unluck.
Yeah, massive amount of unluck. Yeah. But I did like that part of it. Again, you're right. I like how that. We'll cover like favorable scenes soon, but like that's one of my favorite scenes. But really, a lot of the story between them two is that he's willing to always sacrifice for her.
Yeah, and I like that.
What I'm looking for though is when he's not able to sacrifice for her and still does. He's not able to come back to life, and he still does for her. To me, that would put the cherry on the stem, where she's no longer unluck and he's no longer undead, and they actually do this kind of reveal that he's going to sacrifice his life and be dead forever, while she's no longer unlucky. Yeah. And I think that'd be a cool little, romantic Romeo Juliet type thing.
That's a very interesting prediction. You're gonna have to watch it.
I'm gonna have to watch it. Yeah, I'm planning on watching it. I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was really good. Shit, I was supposed to be.
Oh wait. Yeah. I could block that out or something.
No, I'll keep it in. Keep it in. All right. So let's get into our favorite scenes in here.
Favorite scene?
Let's start off with episode 1.
Episode 1, favorite scene. Probably like him like spinning Fuuko around. Like I thought that was hilarious as hell.
Oh man, I thought that was so funny. I like the very introduction meeting of them.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really good scene where she's like, "Tell me about this incurable disease," and she's like, "Now you got the unluck," and it's like the next clip. Because the way they did it with the animation is they have the building straight up, and then they do the next frame that pulls off. Yeah. So it just shows it off, and he gets hit by a train.
One thing I really like about that is she's got like a knife, and she's like threatening him, and he's like, "I'm gonna stab you" or whatever. Like, don't mess with me, because he's trying to stop her from jumping off the ledge, and he walks up and stabs himself in the chest.
Which is good range again by that voice actor, because she actually yells when he stabs him. So that initial meeting was great. Again, the whole spinning around thing was really funny. Yeah. But then the scene that I really like was after he's hugging her. He's all, "I'm hugging you now. What's gonna happen?" Like he gets hit with like a box of bananas. Yeah. And what I really like, and I don't know if you caught this, is she runs toward the edge to get away, and she slips on a banana, and they give the slip audio for it, like the whew.
Yeah.
They made the banana slip
I
audio.
don't think I caught that, but
Yeah,
that's
I wrote
pretty
that down in my notes. I thought it was so funny. So we get that, and then those two are again that great scenes,
Yeah.
and then we get the on episode 1. I think the finale fight was
The
awesome.
finale, like I said, I touched on earlier, where he
Yeah.
removes the little thing off of his head and he goes,
He gets all badass.
he's super powered or whatever.
Yeah, and
I also like that he wields a sword. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I feel like there's going to be something about that in his previous life when we get to know about, or
Yeah.
like early on in his life before he became undead. But also, I like the scene where he's fighting because he's just like, he's getting hit, but he doesn't really care.
Yeah.
He's like getting like limbs cut off, and he's just like fighting them and
I
regenerating.
think the guy even says like, it's amazing he's doing that because like he still feels pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think if you feel pain for 200, 300 years, it's not going to be so painful.
I guess I can see that.
Yeah, over long periods of time. But that was good. And then I guess the final scene on that episode 1 was the kissing scene.
Kissing scene,
which was
then,
great, which was a great reveal because she goes, "I didn't tell you about the secret part of it." And while she gives the kiss, it flies in there, and the guy's sitting there, and she starts sprinting.
Yeah, she's just running her
She
ass away.
just jets, and it's so funny because he's all like, "Ha, good plan." And then a meteorite hits them. And of course, he survives. He walks out. And then we get this final clip where it's all, so a kiss did a meteorite. I guess we got up and it bleeps it out.
Yeah.
We have to
You keep saying that, yeah.
Yeah, we have to beep. And then she starts, and then the voice actor again yelling.
He's all like taking off his clothes or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're going to do this. Like, I'm ready to die.
Yeah, it's such a good episode 1.
Yeah.
Episode 2, dude. So episode 1 was very memorable to me. Episode 2, even though it was like more recent, there wasn't so many memorable scenes. It got a little more serious.
Yeah, it was more serious. It was more about the two villains that show up. We call them villains. I actually kind of like. I don't know. He had like silver hair, right?
Yeah, it was like
it was blue,
Yeah.
silver. I kind of liked him. I don't know what kind of archetype he is. Like, he's like indifferent. Like he's just
like I don't think he cares about.
He's not good or evil.
Yeah, he's like an anti-hero.
Yeah,
like he's just happy to be part of the 10.
Yeah.
He doesn't care who's on it as long as he's on it, probably.
Yeah.
So that I do see that aspect of him. The other villain I didn't really like. He was a mecha. He was a robot.
Yeah.
It was really cool way he was fighting, but I didn't really like it. But the scene that I really liked was the kind of the final scene where she says like she tells him to turn around, like the anti-hero, whatever his name is.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, I'm getting undressed. I'm gonna have sex with you. I'm gonna do it. And it's funny because two reasons why it's funny. The first reason why it's funny is that she wants to do it because he's saying like you take the spot of the 10.
Yeah.
And I'll die and I'll get tortured for years. You can't handle it. I can. Like just being a gentleman. It's like really funny because he's like being like kind of romantic.
Yeah, he's sacrificing himself.
Yeah, he's like legit gonna get tested on for years while she joins this elite group. And the second part why it's funny is because after she does all that, he was like, "Don't ever do that again. You're gonna do it because you like me, not because you're obligated."
And see, it ties back into that like her unluckiness power or whatever is dictated by like how much she like likes someone. So like he's saying like, don't do that. Like you only do that if you actually really do like me.
Yeah.
So I can die.
Yeah. That was a good scene. And then the other good scene I really like is she touches his chest and runs away. And she's like blushing and she's like, "This doesn't mean I like you." She's giving a whole spill about like why she did it. And she's like, "I don't like you anymore." And I thought it was really funny. Yeah, this anime was hilarious.
Yeah, I actually really like it. One of the cool scenes that I thought, where he beats the mecha dude. He like shoots him with his finger. He like bites his finger off, and then like how does he describe it? Like he knows what his power is, so he knows the robots is stopping his movement, but he can't stop him from like shooting the end of his finger off. And he's got like a little finger gun.
He can't stop if he's like taking damage. So like when he regenerates, it like that's a new him.
Yeah.
So he can't take. So his finger when he shoots it, it's a new him.
I thought that was cool.
I thought it was cool. And I like again, he's really clever.
Yeah.
So I mean, those are some great scenes. And you got any other ones?
No, that's.
I mean, they're pretty great scenes throughout. We'll let you watch it.
Honestly, both episodes are just like pretty filled to the brim with comedy. Like I liked it. Like
great. Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I'm actually really surprised at how much I enjoyed this anime. Like
I've picked a couple anime that you have like fallen in love with. I don't want to name them. We'll name them maybe at the series, the season finale of our Edamame Anime Club. But I picked some bangers, dude. And I know you've been feeling them.
Yeah,
I'm secretly watching them. All right, let's get into it. Now, you guys already know what I'm gonna pick. Definitely, it's a watch for me. If you like comedy, if you like great voice acting, if you like action, if you like a great plot and story, go ahead and check out Undead Unlucky. You will really like it.
Yeah. As far as me, watch it or drop it, you're gonna know instantly whether this is an anime you like or don't like. For me, it's an easy watch.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you would have to just hate this type of anime, and you wouldn't go out of your way to kind of watch it. So yeah, you'll know instantly.
Yeah. And what did IMDb give this? A 7.8, right, or something?
Oh, it's actually got like a higher one.
I thought it was lower. And I always question like the reliability of IMDb because sometimes it really does do it justice, but way better than Rotten Tomatoes. I'll say that.
Yeah. Honestly, I like IMDb. Like,
yeah, they do okay because it's fan review, right?
They go episode by episode too.
Yeah.
So yeah, Undead Unluck's got a 7.9 out of 10 on IMDb.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this earlier. We were looking at the top 10 anime of the week on Reddit. Undead Unluck is number 2.
Number 2. So you know it's a banger.
Yeah.
All right, you got anything else?
No, I think that's about it.
I agree, guys. Thanks for watching this episode. We'll catch you guys next time. All right. Bye.
Later.